well. Good afternoon, Minister of State Alvin, distinguished guests, partners, clients, friends, and family. I'm Amanda, and it is my honor to welcome you all to what is truly a major milestone for us here at Arta, our global launch. In my career, I've worked at banks and family offices. I've led wealth efforts at a global insurer and ran the Singapore business of robo-advisor. I've been fortunate enough to have seen and built global wealth management businesses across both traditional and digital channels. But when I used Arta for the first time, I was completely blown away by the platform's sophistication and user experience that was just unlike anything I've seen before. The team truly brings together the best in finance and the best in tech. And I knew right away that I wanted to be a part of this journey. So today is not just about unveiling an app. It's about sharing our vision for the future of wealth management, and Singapore is the perfect launchpad for our global platform. First, we're a dual-headquartered company with operations in both Silicon Valley and Singapore. So for us, this is home. Second, Singapore is one of the world's largest wealth hubs. According to an estimate by the MAS and Credit Suisse, about 1.6 million non-Singaporeans will be managing $4.8 trillion of wealth here in Singapore by 2028. Third, Singapore is at the forefront of fintech and AI innovation. With the vision of Smart Nation 2.0, the country is not just prioritizing AI, but rapidly preparing us all for the AI age. And last but not least, we have had incredible support from the Singapore government, especially the Economic Development Board and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, whose support and encouragement we are tremendously grateful for. We believe that Arta's comprehensive suite of investment products, sophisticated AI-powered tools, and community of like-minded investors and experts will resonate deeply here. So with that, let me invite Caesar, our co-founder and CEO, to show you Arta.
Thank you, Amanda, and good afternoon, everyone. Arta is a labor of love that my co-founders and I built to solve a pain point that we felt in our own lives. A number of us had worked at Google for a long time, and as our careers progressed, we found it harder and harder to manage with just the retail investment options available. Brokerages, retail banks, keeping track of all of it in spreadsheets. At some point, some of us started using private banks, and we realized a few things. Private banks opened up a whole different world of wealth management with access to private investments, much more systematic ways of investing in public markets, and access to experts. It felt like there was a whole world of financial superpowers that we just hadn't known about. However, there were a couple of big challenges. The minimums were so high that we could only get going when we were well into our 40s. We wished we could have started way earlier in our careers. And the experience was extremely old school, manual and pricey. Everything else in our life, we managed on our phones. Why not our wealth? And when we dug deeper into this, we realized that we were not alone. There are millions of professionals like us in tech, finance, consulting, entertainment, who fell into this massive gap between retail and private banking. Globally, there are 680 million affluent professionals with roughly 270 trillion in assets, all of them underserved. As people deep in consumer fintech, having built products like Google Pay and Google Finance, we felt that if we brought deep tech and great user experience to the world of wealth management, we would be able to democratize wealth management and private banking and unlock these financial superpowers for many, many more. So we pulled together a strong cross-functional team from tech and finance and started Arta with the support of an amazing set of angels and investors like P15, Ribbit, Coatue, and the Singapore EDBI. Arta is a wealth platform for the savvy. It's comprehensive, giving our clients access to exclusive investment opportunities that combines deep financial expertise with great tech and beautiful UX to help them grow, protect, and enjoy their wealth. Late last year, we launched Arta in the US to accredited investors. And today, I'm very excited to announce the next big step forward for Arta, Arta Global. It's the same comprehensive wealth platform that we've had in the US, but now it's available globally via Singapore to accredited investors. And as Amanda mentioned earlier, Singapore is a global wealth hub. So people from across the world now can open a free account with no account minimums in just a couple of minutes. Second, today we're also introducing Arta AI Copilot, a host of features that are powered by an AI system that has been purpose-built for wealth and finance. And the Arta Lounge, a vibrant community where people don't just invest, but they learn, collaborate, and grow together. We call our clients members because they're part of this community. And we believe that we are on a shared mission to grow their wealth together. So whether you're seeking insights from fund managers, experts, or fellow investors, Arta fosters the connections that truly matter in wealth building. And there are a few things that are in common for everyone who uses Arta. All our client assets are custodied at Bank of New York Pershing, one of the world's largest and most trusted custodians. Assets are not pooled, and each account is covered by SIPC protection up to $500,000. Second, you get the best-in-class security that you would expect from a team that built Google Pay, Gmail, and many other large-scale tech platforms. It's multi-factor, and it's passwordless from the start. Third, Arta combines the best of tech with the best of human expertise. It's digital experiences when you want it, and humans whenever you want to need them. So now I'm going to invite my co-founder, Ed, to join me and help demo Arta to all of you. Ed.
Hey, everyone. All right. I'm really excited to show you what we built. So as you know, managing money is really personal. Wealth means different things to different people, and everybody is different. And for each individual, Arta can help them in a bunch of different ways. We know these pain points really deeply because, honestly, many of us at Arta feel this very, very deeply, right? And so we wanted to show you Arta through a couple of personas, and I wanted to introduce them to you first. The first persona is dual income, no kids. This is people that are early in their wealth journey. They're probably in their 30s, $500,000 to $1 million in assets. For me, this is the group of people that walks in fresh in the morning with coffee and their hair looks fine, right? The second group we call civil service officers, but really they encapsulate this classic Singaporean success story. People that have worked hard from humble beginnings and they're starting to save a good deal of money. They're in their 30s and their 40s. They may have $500,000 to $5 million in assets. The third group is millennial millionaires. This group works in tech, consulting or healthcare. They're trying to balance work, life for their kids. They chase after the kids all day on Sunday, and they come in completely disheveled on Monday. This group I can really relate to. The fourth group we call private banking clients. They have maybe 5 to 10 million in net worth. They're starting to use priority banking or private banks, but honestly, they just feel like the experience should be better, right? Like they don't love it. And the last group we call next generation family offices. This is a group of people that's taking over for family businesses from their parents or setting them up for the first time, and they're just not looking to use their dad's private banker. So let's look at Arta through these 5 personas. Let's start with dual income, no kids, and civil service officers. This group right now manages their money using discount brokerages, robo-advisors, a bunch of spreadsheets. Their main challenge is that their portfolios are made up of a grab bag of stocks. It's not very well structured at all. If they use robos, they get dropped into these really generic portfolios that aren't personalized or managed. And so we wanted to help them put all their wealth in one place as if they had a private bank. So at Arta, they can combine all their cash and invest with a combination of US Treasuries and money market funds. They can also trade across thousands of US stocks and ETFs with no trading fees. Now, for most people, the majority of their investments sit in public markets. So we looked at how private banks do this. Private banks have discretionary portfolios. Sometimes they're called mandates. They're kind of personalized. They're manually managed. They usually have really high fees, and honestly, at the end of the day, they're still pretty generic. So we thought about, what if we rebuilt the whole thing? What would it look like if we did it today? For us, it's a simple 2-step process. The first one, pick your core. This is where the bulk of your wealth should be invested. You can choose between 5 different risk levels, and you can tilt your core in 3 ways: US, Asia, or global. The second one is pick your satellites and personalize these. These satellites are almost like mini ETFs. They're made up of a collection of assets, each forming a specific theme. This is where Arta's fully automated infrastructure really comes to life. Every single person basically has their own personalized investing engine. So you can go modify each of these satellites. As you modify them, you get real-time updates on how that portfolio changes. And then, on an ongoing basis, our system monitors every single one of your portfolios and automatically rebalances them for you. So we're starting with 9 of these, ones like Asia Leaders, Rate Cut Advantage, and Architects of AI. And then as the markets move, every couple of weeks, we'll release a few more as opportunities come up. So what's unique about what we do for this group? Everyone gets access to a personalized investment engine. So it creates a portfolio of one, and it's truly customization at scale. Now they have one cohesive strategy where their wealth grows while still reflecting their preferences. And third, no more spreadsheets. All their wealth is managed in one place, it's constantly monitored for them and rebalanced at the fraction of the cost of a private bank. Let me switch to the second group. Let's look at 2 personas, millennial millionaires and private banking clients. These groups are done with spreadsheets. They've graduated, they're now starting to use priority banking or private banking. The issue that most of them face is access. They're eligible to invest in private equity, structured products, quant strategies, but today what they're probably getting pushed is low-quality unit trusts or insurance plans that they really don't want to buy. We want everyone to have access to the same high quality of investments that you would get if you were a top-tier private banking client, along with really easy and powerful ways to get started. So at Arta, what we do is we combine a team of experts with a system that's built from the ground up to give you a really smooth digital investing experience. So let's look. We start at this Arta exclusive section. This is where everybody finds all the hard-to-access opportunities like private equity, venture capital, hedge funds, quant strategies, structured products. And sorry, for regulatory reasons, we have to obfuscate some of the fund names, but we partner with fund managers like KKR, Carlyle, and Blue Owl. It's important to note this isn't a marketplace. So these are highly curated funds for our members, and we only work with fund managers that we have high conviction about. Arta also designs our own structured products and makes them really easy to understand. And the team designs these based on market conditions, and we use the world's largest banks to issue them. Lastly, there's a bunch of quant strategies here that you can also choose from. They're built by Arta, and they open up a whole world of fancy machine learning that's usually locked away for institutional investors. So here's how we solve for access. With our expertise and industry connections, we get members the best access in terms to make these asset classes so powerful. 2, we condense these huge PDFs that you usually get into human understandable terms in these beautiful brochures. And 3rd, we just make it really easy to invest. The minimum start at just $25K with much lower fees than you would get at a private bank, and the experience is completely digital. You get to do everything inside this gorgeous UX.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about private bank clients and next-gen family offices. These people want great service. They want a personalized approach, and they want tools that let them grow their wealth their own way. But they already have private banks and family offices, so what can Arta offer them that's so different? So this is where we asked ourselves, what would private banking look like in the AI era? And no, it's not about picking stocks with ChatGPT. That doesn't work. Many in this room know that financial data is very different from song lyrics or holiday photos or cat videos. So you just can't use an off-the-shelf AI model. Financial applications are all about numbers and time. So you have to approach it very, very differently. So we built Arta Copilot, an AI system that's purpose-built for wealth and finance. So let's see how Arta AI Copilot enables the private bank clients and next-gen family offices to get the kind of personalized strategies that they care about. So I used a Swiss private bank for many years, and often I would call my banker and ask them what they thought about a specific asset, a stock or an ETF. And they'd send me tons of these detailed research reports, which honestly, I didn't have the time or the inclination to really go through. And at the end of the day, I would just call my banker and say, just give me a summary. Tell me what I should do. So one of the easier things that AI allows us to do is take this deluge of information and data that no one has time to go through and generate a user-understandable summary that a banker might provide to you. It's well-researched analysis on a single stock, so you can make the decisions with the latest information. Now, this is very simple, but the power of this comes from 2 things. First, this combines the latest data from public sources with licensed sources, including top-tier news journals, and adds to it financial data from company fundamentals. And the second most important thing is Arta's AI Copilot can do this instantly for you for thousands of assets in the market. So you can have high-quality investment analysis at your fingertips anytime you want. The second service that I would often call my private bank for was when I had a high conviction on a big trend that I wanted to invest in, like supply chain for AI chips, or I want to invest in utilities that have power plants next to data centers. And typically, when I made these requests, it would take my banker days or weeks to get back to me with a proposed strategy. And this is what I imagine happened inside the bank. When I asked them for a recommendation, they would go to some team of CIOs. Somebody there would break down the problem into smaller problems. Lots of research analysts will go off, look at different data, pull all of this together. And then after a few weeks, I would get back a report. And even when I got this recommended portfolio, the analysis felt light. I wanted more numbers. And it was hard to modify things unless I wanted to go through the whole process again. I wanted this to be faster. I wanted the same high-quality research, but I wanted to be able to tweak it so that I could decide based on my terms. Maybe this is available, and I just wasn't rich enough. So we challenged ourselves to see how AI can make this whole process much, much better. So now with AI, Arta's investment copilot can help you ideate, research, and create highly customized portfolios for the themes that you have high conviction in. So let's try this. It starts out simply with a search. With your query, Arta's AI will kick off a series of research copilots that all have access to different types of AI models and different data that's breaking down the problem and analyzing each component. So here it's looking at components for component companies, manufacturing companies, different processes. What we're doing here is we're using a capability of large language models that's called reasoning. It's a relatively new capability, but already starting to get very, very powerful. What's happening next is there's an independent AI that then looks at this analysis and decides whether the research was done correctly or not. And these copilots use a ton of different models, including commercial models like Google Gemini, fine-tuned open source models, as well as models that our researchers have built. And they are built using data that is available from public sources, SEC filings, major business news, large financial data sets that are all licensed. So once all of this research comes together, you see a report that has, and this happened in a couple of minutes as you saw in front of you. It'll describe what it did, it'll talk about the methodology, and even give you the sources that you can then dig into deeper to understand more. It'll show you the assets, and you can even click on any of these assets to see why that asset would be a good fit for this theme. So what the Arta Copilot has done, and by the way, here we just spun off maybe about 7 or 8 copilots. We could spin off hundreds if we want. There are just servers in the cloud, right? So this is basically simulating what a CIO team would be doing in real life. And it also, as we go forward with this, what we see is it can not only take these assets and do the research, but it can do the deep financial analysis behind this. Because investing is all about numbers, right? So with Arta, you can, with a single click, immediately run a 3 or a 5-year backtest in a second. You can compare it to S&P 500, Russell 2000, go into beta, vol, however deep you want to go into your financial analysis, right? Not many people, but the people who would care about it would really go deep in. And because, again, it's instant, you can keep tweaking it and regenerating it until you make a decision whether to invest or not. This is your Copilot, so you're the ultimate decision maker. So you can edit the allocations, you can change the assets, do whatever you want to come up with your own customized strategy. So the Arta advantage, this is personalization at scale. It's truly a portfolio of one. And it's using an AI system that's purpose-built for complex tasks involving numbers and math and time that's specialized for wealth and finance. It's kind of like having a team of CIOs that live in the cloud, except that they have access to near-infinite data and near-infinite computing resources. Just think about it. Today, even at the biggest private banks, there's one shared CIO team for every client. But now with Arta Copilot, everyone can have their own dedicated team of analysts, researchers, and CIOs that are constantly getting smarter, better, and more capable. So
all right. Now, clearly, Copilot is going to be really exciting if you are a private banking client or a family office principal and you're doing some really intense analysis. But we really wanted to bring the power of AI to everyone. So let us show you our favorite Copilot feature that will help investors regardless of how savvy they are. For the longest time, I've wanted a relationship manager that would tell me how my portfolio is doing, give me updates, contextualize it. I spoke to all my friends that had private bankers and realized this is pretty rare. The reason is that for a bank to offer you this, they'd have to afford to have a whole team of people sitting around ready to answer your questions anytime you want. And that only makes sense if you as a person have hundreds of millions of dollars. But with AI, we can build this for everyone. So we did. Welcome to your Portfolio Recap. Portfolio Recap will analyze your portfolio and all the underlying assets, whether it's an Arta quant strategy or just a regular ETF. It'll tell you how the portfolio has done, compared to the market, give you the latest developments that might impact things, and help you understand how the market really affects your portfolio. You can choose to get a daily recap, a weekly recap. You can get it in the middle of the night if you want. You can ask it any time. And because not everyone wants to read a detailed financial report, you can change the writing style. So you can get it in easy style, and you can even get your favorite copy uncle to read you your report. You can also There's a bunch of other fun styles too. And if you don't want to read, we can read it to you in your most
Hold on to your hats, folks, because we've got some mind-blowing news about your portfolio. From September 27th to October 4th, your portfolio didn't just grow. It skyrocketed with a fantastic return of 0.26%.
Startups have to be optimistic. Fantastic 0.62% return. Obviously, a lot of this is for fun, but what you should take away from it is how powerful this is. We can give you a report and talk to you however you want us to talk to you, in whatever language you want us to talk to you, at whatever financial literacy level you want us to talk to you at. So it's like having your own private banker, except one who only works for you and on your terms, and never any of the high sales pressure. So we've just shown you a bunch of various Copilots that we're launching today. We have more in the works that will launch in the coming months, but this is just the start. We believe that everyone's financial journey will be enhanced with AI, working in the cloud exclusively for them and on their behalf. Let me move on. That's AI. I want to talk a little bit about community. One of the things we notice is that some people are just really confident about investing. They know lots of stuff. They know how to use all these different types of investments. They know what the words private equity mean and all this stuff. And we realize it's because they're surrounded by a whole bunch of people that they can learn from. We wanted to bring this type of experience to as many people as possible. And we don't want you to feel like you're investing alone. And so for that, we built the Arta Lounge. So in the Arta Lounge, you swipe right, and you can interact with members of the community, find events that Arta is running, and then learn from a whole set of benchmarks that we're running across the user base. Now, we're a digital service, so we don't have a physical lounge for you, like a lot of the private banks do. But we wanted you to feel like all of Singapore is your lounge. So when you invest at Arta, let us buy you coffee once a week. You can go to any of your favorite coffee shops around Singapore and just send us the bill. Or you can go to Tiong Bahru Bakery, Common Man Coffee, and Two Men Bagel, who we've partnered with, and all you need to do is flash your Arta app and get free coffee. All right. So whether you're early in your investing journey or a pro user that already uses private banks, we're so excited for you to get access to exclusive products, let core and satellite strategies manage your public markets investments, and then let this whole family of AI copilots assist you. We also know that wealth is more than just investing. So we've partnered with a whole set of leaders across different fields to bring a set of extra services to Arta. And so for that, I want to invite Amanda back on stage to tell you more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. We are excited to have brought together a set of amazing partners for what we call expert services. These are providers with deep expertise in services that help our members both reach their goals and better manage their wealth. For example, we have Henley & Partners, the leader in global mobility. You might be familiar with them and their often quoted Global Passport Index. They're going to be helping our members who like to diversify their citizenship and residency. We also have on board Camelot Trust, who help members who want to set up a trust or an estate plan to help the next generation form a secure financial footing. And finally, at Arta, we're driven by The belief that success is not just about financial gain, but about the greater good that can come from a purpose-driven society. As part of that mission, we want to help our members contribute to meaningful solutions that reflect both their values and aspirations. For this, Arta is partnering with Coaxis, a Temasek Trust initiative that will give our members exclusive access to over 100 high-impact opportunities across 40 countries that align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Arta is incredibly excited to partner with the first digital capital marketplace that mobilizes private investors towards the world's environmental and social challenges. We'll be disclosing more details about our Coaxis partnership in the coming weeks, so please stay tuned. A big thank you to Jocelyn and the Coaxis team for their support and partnership. There is so much we can do together to accelerate our shared impact, and we're excited about the possibilities. So far, we've focused a lot on our offering for individual investors. Now is the time for us to share another very important aspect of our business, Arta for banks and financial institutions. Arta's mission is to unlock the financial superpowers of the ultra-wealthy to millions more. And we cannot do this alone. In fact, many of you in this room share in this same mission. With that, we're proud to announce Arta's Wealth as a Service offering. These solutions will enable banks to innovate faster, better serve their clients, and unlock new growth and revenue opportunities. And how are we doing this? Well, with three main models. The first one is Arta Embedded. So banks can seamlessly include Arta's products and services into their own product offering and client interfaces. Second, we have Arta White Label, a turnkey cloud-hosted wealth platform that a partner bank can take to offer wealth products in just a matter of months. And finally, we have Arta's AI as a service, which allows banks to embed the AI functionality that we just demoed at scale. Over the past few months, we've been in discussions with a number of global banks. Today, we're excited to announce our first partnership with WEO Invest. WEO is one of the fastest-growing investment platforms in the Middle East, backed by the Abu Dhabi Development Company. Through this partnership, WEO will be able to create and offer cutting-edge wealth management capabilities tailored to a new market of rising professionals. This integration will enable WEO to offer sophisticated financial services and bring personalized AI-powered solutions to their clients. We'll be shipping later this year, and we'll have more details to share then. This momentum we've seen with Arta's Wealth as a Service has been humbling, and we'd like to thank once again the Singapore Economic Development Board for helping us incubate this new line of business earlier this year. And to support the implementation of Arta's Wealth as a Service offering, I'm excited to announce two key collaborations that will help our partners fully capitalize on Arta's capabilities. First, we have Google Cloud, who will ensure that partner institutions can deploy Arta solutions with speed, security, and reliability. Second, we have Capco, who have extensive experience in advising and helping banks in their digital transformation journeys. They will be helping our partner banks better utilize Arta's technology stack. Thank you to both teams for joining us today. So we've decided to do all of this out of Singapore because of the recognition of Singapore's importance as a global wealth hub, as well as its strong regulatory governance that provides a lot of assurance for our partners and clients. So with that, I would like to invite Minister of State Alvin Tan on stage to share his thoughts. Mr. Tan is Minister of State for Culture, Community and Youth, and Minister of State for Trade and Industry. He also sits on the board of the MES. Please join me in welcoming the Minister on stage.
Thank you. While you're setting up, I'm trying to go into the App Store to download Arta. I don't know which should I be the copy uncle or Yoda? Should I be a former tech? Or maybe I speak in government language now. So it depends on which portfolio I'm using. But to all of you, to Caesar, to my very good friend Ed, and to the Arta team, Amanda, thank you. Congratulations on your launch today. Just a round of applause to the team. So I was working on the preparation this morning. I was working on the speech. I sent Ed a message, and I said, what are we supposed to wear this, to your event? Are you a tech company? Are you a finance company? What do you do? And so Ed, in Ed's fashion, just says, we're wearing shirt and pants. And I said, okay, I'm glad you're wearing pants. But you're doing more than that. You're doing more than that. It's an incredible product that you're working on, and I knew, Caesar, you put in incredible amount of effort. I've known that this has been years in the making, and just bringing together all of the different partners, having, of course, also the government come in to support you. I think this is a great and incredible milestone. So I'm glad that you've decided to launch, also co-launch in Singapore. You've had a headquarters in California, and now in Singapore. I think it reflects the growing opportunities for wealth management in Asia through Singapore. And for us, for the government, we are with you as you help to build wealth, to steward wealth, and also to give wealth. I came up with it this morning. But just sitting here and just looking at what you guys are doing, I think that's quite important to do that. I mean, to just take the bigger picture on what you're trying to do here. You're not just giving accessibility to people that may not have access to private banks, but you're actually building wealth for every single person, opening that in terms of accessibility. But you're also, after building wealth, you have to learn how to steward the wealth and to grow that wealth. And finally, which is what Amanda said in your final slide, it's also how do we then give wealth to create impact in both the region and, of course, in the world. So let's start with this. First, we have an opportunity to build wealth and build wealth in Asia because the soil in Asia is fertile. The soil in Asia is fertile. Asia's prospects, as all of you know and all of you are based here, are bright. It's also strong, and the growth momentum remains very optimistic, better than that 0.625%. That's really going off the charts. APAC is expected to grow by 4.9% in 2025, faster than any part of the world. And Singapore is an excellent place to not just to build wealth, but also to grow wealth. In fact, Singapore is capturing this growth as a strategic gateway to Asia. And we are a trusted financial center and a destination for asset as well as wealth management. And allow me to share a few details. AUM growth last year, and many of you know this, was driven by net inflows across not just the traditional asset classes, but also alternative assets, as well as in wealth management and, of course, many other activities. Wealth management AUM grew by more than 8% in 2023, continuing the growth trend of the past few years. Wealth management AUM, as 5-year CAGR, came up to almost 10%. So it's a huge level of growth. And the good news is that this will grow even further. BCG projects offshore wealth in Singapore to grow about 8.5% per annum between 2023 to 2028. And this is faster than other global wealth centers. Now, with Asia's wealth ecosystem growing strongly, we now have an opportunity to channel this capital to fuel growth, to drive innovation, and to create and to build quality jobs. How so? Many of you are here, you are CEOs of companies, or you invest in many of these companies. These are growth companies. And these growth companies across our region will have greater financing needs, especially in high-growth sectors such as tech and the renewable energy sectors. At the same time, global investors are here, and they have now more options to diversify and to invest in Asia. Therefore, wealth tech solutions like Arta can play a very useful role by offering simple and even more efficient access to a broader range of investment solutions and targeting a wider reach. Not just the ultra-high net worth, of course, as I mentioned, but also the mass and emerging affluent segments as well. I did not know that the civil servants was an archetype. But Arta is therefore well-positioned and well-placed to build wealth in Asia. You've positioned yourself not just in the many forms that Ed and Caesar had mentioned, but also as a digital family office to personalize financial products and services to a broader group of wealth segments. So I mentioned that building wealth is important, but equally, and if not more important, is the need for us to steward wealth. Wealth means very different things to many different people. The archetypes show that. And for some, it is about financial security. For some, it is to retire early. To others, wealth is the ability to invest in maybe high risks, high return assets or products. But in all cases, wealth is measured not just by how much wealth we have, but by how much we can grow and to preserve it over the years and the decades. In fact, many wealth tech firms understood that the needs of individuals are too varied for cookie-cutter solutions, and that's why Arta provides very specialized and customized solutions. And that individuals also can benefit from these customized and personalized solutions as they invest and manage their risks in the long term. Wealth tech firms like Arta can also provide clients with more advanced portfolio optimization and investment strategies for all of us to make more effective decision-making, short-term, medium-term, but more importantly for the long term. But Arta, as I've seen that you've started to grow or to create communities of clients and investors. You're going to expand it beyond ex-Googlers, I suppose. But you are also embarking on many of these community embarking on these long wealth creating and wealth building journeys to share your knowledge, your experiences, and to just enrich that conversation. But you know, we don't just build wealth, we must sustain it through careful long-term management of assets. What is created today becomes a lasting foundation that can benefit future generations. Again, that concept of stewarding wealth. And let me now just switch gears a little bit to share the government's perspective of stewarding wealth. Because it's not just individuals, it's not just companies, but governments also have the responsibility to grow wealth, to steward wealth, and to give wealth. Our Singapore government does this. As you know, we have built our nation's wealth, basically our reserves, over decades of careful stewardship. The government spends half, 50% of our net investment returns, and keeps the other half, 50%, in our reserves. This is what we call our net investment returns contribution. It may be quite a new concept to all of you, but it's quite novel in the way in which we build our wealth and we steward our wealth. So in effect, we spend half of these investment returns and we save the other half. We spend half, we save the other half. This NRIC accounts for about 20%, 1/5 of government revenue. 20%, 1/5 of government revenue. 3.5% of GDP. Now, if you did not have NRIC, we might potentially, like many other nations, we might have to double corporate income tax, perhaps more than double personal income tax, and even double GST. But NIRC and this concept actually takes the burden of taxpayers, not just local mom and pop, but also corporate investors in Singapore. So wealth management is important because it can help steward the wealth that we build and help us to build financial strength and resilience, particularly during periods of crisis, like how we tapped onto the national reserves during COVID-19 and the global financial crisis in 2008. Our reserves were a tremendous advantage, not very dissimilar to Ed's, I think, $3 million on your Arta. But our reserves gives us, and also individuals, a tremendous advantage. It gave us confidence, it gave others confidence in Singapore, and we had the financial muscle to do everything that we needed to do to preserve not just wealth, preserve jobs, and preserve confidence in the Singapore economy during crises. If we didn't have that, we would have gotten heavily into debt, and it's quite similar to what many countries had faced during the COVID crisis. So wealth management is thus important, not just to nations, but to organizations and to individuals, and Arta Finance does that in your product, Caesar. This means our wealth management tools and products must be nimble so that we can adapt our strategies even when we are faced with life's inevitable challenges and crises. So it's important for us all to diversify our risk to get better returns and to gain exposure to more investment opportunities. Alternative investments outside traditional spheres such as stocks, bonds, or commodities can provide fresh opportunities to enhance our investment portfolio and to strengthen our portfolio's resilience. Private markets have grown significantly, with AUM across private market assets classes estimated to reach about US $30 trillion by the early 2030s. And private markets AUM in Singapore have also grown. Singapore's private equity and venture capital, PEVC AUM, grew at about 24.8% CAGR to about $650 billion from 2018 to 2023. So there's a huge investable pool for all of you, including for individual investors. Now, Arta's suite of investment products are thus very timely because, Caesar, you and Arta are opening up the market to clients by providing them with access to various opportunities, asset classes, including VC, including PE, so clients have a more varied option to achieve a diversified and resilient portfolio. You're opening up something which hitherto has huge barriers to entry. Finally, having built wealth and stewarded wealth, I think all of us agree that we also must give wealth. In our personal health, we consider all aspects of our well-being, our physical health, and now increasingly our mental health. By the way, yesterday was Mental Health Day. But we also have to look, in the way that we look at physical health and mental health, we also have to look at our financial health holistically, at wealth management beyond just growing the assets that we have in our portfolio. Therefore, we need to integrate financial planning with broader social and philanthropic objectives, and many of us are already doing so, both organizations, nations, and I'm sure many different individuals as well. Now, wealth managers themselves can identify investments that align with a deeper purpose, such as ESG investing, philanthropic endeavors, to drive social impact alongside financial growth. And wealth tech benefits by catalyzing these investments. Now, high net worth individuals and families also want to build a legacy that extends beyond financial gains and the accumulation of wealth, which is why MAS has developed several initiatives to support in this endeavor. I mean, you are a product, you're a very important product, but I think from a government perspective, from the MAS's financial sector development perspective, we are not just building and stewarding this wealth, but we're also looking to build Singapore as a philanthropy hub. So let me just share a little bit about how we're supporting this in this endeavor, and please give us as much input as possible as we tweak these. First, we are deepening the pool of professionals here with expertise in philanthropic advisory. MAS and the Institute of Banking and Finance, IBF, launched the Philanthropy Advisory Technical Skills and Competencies in 2021 to guide and train the next generation of professionals. Second, to grow our philanthropy community, MAS partnered with the Wealth Management Institute, WMI, and the Private Banking Industry Group to launch the Impact Philanthropy Partnership, IPP. Third, MAS has also introduced tax incentives to encourage local and overseas donations. MAS is also catalyzing the growth of various tools and structures such as donor-advised funds to make it easier for all of us to give. And in this regard, I would like to thank my friends at Temasek Trust for partnering Arta on CoAxis. In fact, we were just talking to Temasek Trust the other day. A round of applause to Jocelyn and the team. Because we're not just providing that overall structure, but also partnerships matter. Because you are now just creating this marketplace that connects over 100 high-impact projects from over 40 countries, like Amanda mentioned, with funders to speed up and to scale up impact. Now, Arta's clients through COEXIS will gain access to these opportunities, many of you here, including 8 philanthropic strategies backed by the strong brand of Temasek Trust. Now, having a holistic approach towards wealth management ensures that clients can support worthwhile causes aligned to their values without compromising on all of our financial well-being. In closing, Caesar, Ed, Amanda, thank you for indulging me this afternoon. For what was a long speech, I would have used Arta's Copilot to help craft the speech. But I thought it's worth remembering what we are doing, why we are doing, and also to whom we are doing this for. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a responsibility to our people and to our planet to build wealth and resources, to steward these wealth and resources, and to bequeath this wealth and resources to the next generation. And I know that companies like Arta and the broader ecosystem of fintech and wealth tech firms, and in fact our financial services sector, will continue to work with us and to grow in Singapore to achieve these goals. On my part and on the part of my colleagues at EDB and MAS, we will continue to welcome you and partner a growing community of global founders like Caesar and Ed, and ventures like Arta Finance to tap on our local financial ecosystem to conceive, build, and scale your businesses from Singapore to global markets. So thank you all. Congratulations to Arta and all of your partners for a successful event. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, MOS. I'll remember that. Grow, steward, and give. I think that's a wonderful framework that we should all abide by. Thank you all for joining us, but before you go, we have one last thing. Today, every new member at Arta will get their first investments up to $100,000 managed free for life. And for those of you in the room, as a special thank you, you'll get $250,000 managed free for life. Just scan the QR code. Just scan the QR code on your table or the side of the room when the event ends. Thank you all for joining us. Today was a really big moment for us, with Arta now available globally, directly via Singapore, and soon through banks and other financial institutions who partner with us. But most importantly, we're really excited about the impact that AI can have on the world of wealth management. All our members now can have a team of co-pilots, analysts, researchers, bankers at their beck and call. This is just the start, and we have a lot more to do. But we see AI improving literally every single day, and we feel that this is a glimpse into the future of private banking. A world where every one of us has an AI banker that exclusively works for us, works just the way we want, knows my finances, knows my preferences deeply, and can help me build the financial future the way I want to. And it can do this regardless of where I live, what language I speak, and most importantly, it can give me the same financial superpowers, independent of whether I have $500 million or $500. That is how we get money to work for everyone. Thank you so much.